Hello. I see my mic's unplugged. I'll plug that in. That was great. I check everything but my mic. Uh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, that should be working. Sorry about that. And just starting today with the claw and the Autoworks and a couple goals that I had left. We'll drag them up here. So basically, just want to make the claw more obvious, maybe with the light. And the start base, I wanted to retract into place at the start so people know to move it. I'll be finishing up those goals. And the recent, we did last week where the grapple moved faster, I just want to make sure it works with the keyboard and mouse because it doesn't yet to keep momentum. So that's what I'm doing today, and then can work on other goals. Anyway, funny with the mic earlier, it's probably because my new standing desk, it stopped working, so I was seeing if it was a weight issue, but no, it had to be reset. So right now with this, it works better where I added it so if you have like a longer rope, it'll just finish maybe like at the halfway point like here, but it was kind of animating different. So I just made the animation always so it considers the full distance instead of like going like this and quickly rotating. Uh, but I wanted to start here and basically like go back, maybe bounce into place. So that should be not bad. We'll just give it a starting location first. So if we have original position, we could probably move it just after this. Let me make sure it just will go back. Yeah, it has a speed back if it's not grappling. Okay, so let's just move it down here. Move to the right to snap back into place at the beginning. I did update the build recently with most of the drifting stuff, but I'll have to update that again soon. so maybe 380 will be noticeable. We'll go equals x plus x distance minus 30. It doesn't bounce at the end. I don't know if I need it to bounce, and we'll just see. That's an easy one. I was considering to make it wiggle every once in a while. Like, hey, you haven't hit it yet. You should maybe be doing this start button if you haven't figured it out. I think too, when a player starts a match again, it kind of looks like it's been reset because you drag it to the side, bring it back. Well, hopefully help a bit. Now this compiling is the first time for the day. It always takes a bit longer. And with the Steam, I find the Steam SDK, it's been like double the compile time. So it is tempting to remove it and add it back in. Or waiting here. Probably this thing annoys me too. The camera trackers aren't there when a car just kind of explodes right now, and the new time limit I'm trying to add. Like the car's trying to escape, so I'll probably get that in so there's no camera skips. And yeah, we'll see from there. Here we go. Turn down the volume. I don't think it actually moved. Let's see. Or it was too quick. Yeah, no, it's not moving. But we got GameMaker live in, I think I should be able to update it. This is something we'll have to make sure that is not happening. Yeah, so that's kind of all done beforehand. I can always put it into the step event as like a one-time thing, but it shouldn't be a problem. Found my computer really struggling while live streaming recently. I'll turn off Photoshop, but So it is a physics object. I think we can also do the physics position here. Yeah, it starts awake, so yeah, there we go. It'll be quicker in the actual thing. In the actual game, not in this streaming mode that is makes me sad, really. Okay, but that's done. We could add in a little wiggle at times, but I think probably it's not needed. Like I could have a harpoon come down onto it. But it's okay. So with that done, I'm gonna consider I'll consider that goal considering that goal done. Oh, hello Antonio. How's it going today? Thank you for dropping by. So, real quick, I want to finish this keyboard and mouse drifting. Like I was thinking maybe the amount speed picked up while grappling in corners can increase, but maybe not. And Antonio, did you enjoy Mario Day? I saw your reaction to it, which is pretty much like what you can expect normally. It's maybe a little much to expect something like a new movie trailer or game all the time. Anyway, let's dive into the grappling code. Which is under movement. So like I had added stuff in here for controller movement. We'll test it. I just have to move a few extra things to the keyboard and mouse. Oh yeah, and you said, yeah, it seems like all hands on deck for Nintendo Switch 2. That's correct. I mean, even if, let's say, there was Mario 35 as Mario 40, you'd want to save an exciting announcement for Switch 2, get people on board there. I mean, it's so close you don't really need to distract people to go for more Switch 1 stuff. Like, I think we get Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition pretty soon. I mean, there's a few sales, people that missed out on other games. Just mostly you want to have all the focus and everything ready for Switch 2. Okay. Tank controls aren't even an option anymore, so I'm only going to go into non-tank controls off. So what we did here to get the movement, I think it's adding this combined speed stuff. So I'll have to make sure that's in the other one. Oh, and what I believe I had a reminder for Wonder Stop, which I had played from Next Fest, that is out today. If Steam will open. Maybe Steam can't open. Maybe my laptop's just too slow. Nope, it opened. Okay. Okay, it's not out yet, the tea making game, but it's out in 14 hours. Yeah, that's a pretty good demo. I don't like cozy games too much at times. Like, I play them sometimes, but they're not what I go to all the time. This one I was enjoying. Something about, it's like I'm already doing work at times, so it's like I don't want a game about work. T. Oh god, that you should be the head of their social media there. T minus 14 hours. You're on fire for puns lately, Antonio. Yeah, but the main goal today is try to like knock off a couple little things in Carpoon goals so they can be kind of just done and move on to big goals later in the week. I started looking at stickers printing yesterday briefly. It does look there is, of course, different sticker printing options, including in English, with English support in Tokyo, which you kind of would expect in one of the biggest cities in the world. Yeah, I went to the Tokyo Indie Game Summit on Sunday, where I got to play a game. One of the best ones was Building Relationships, the house platformer dating game. Uh, that one was pretty funny. Yeah, it seems to be coming along well. And but yeah, tons of people with stickers there, as a reminder. I played one called Nasal Nomad Sniffer's Delight, where it's like a nose and its legs are basically snot coming out of the nose. And it's in a sewer, so you have to go around and like sniff flowers to keep going. And I was kind of surprised by Sky the Scraper. They had a lot more story to it than I'd expect. I kind of thought it was just a simple arcade game where you're swinging around a building, washing windows, but no, there's actually like decent story attached to it. A neat style in that part too. So hilariously here, I don't actually know where the drifting is. Okay, well, it's here. So that's got to be in this somewhere. Yeah. And now I just have to add this combined speed stuff. And it should work for keyboard and mouse after you like let go of the grapple to keep momentum, and then that goal's done. I think other than that, I just want to give a shout out to UFO 50's Party House, which, like, playing Eggplant.show, a podcast that covers games, has been doing one game from UFO 50 a week, and this is the week for that game. And they are already hearing a lot of people big in it, which is good. But early on, like, that was one of my favorite games in UFO 50. It's very simple. It seems like it should not be good. Because you're just like, it could be like a board game in real life with cards, because you're just inviting people into your house. Like, it could be a deck of cards and it would work. But the idea is to have like the biggest party possible to make the most amount of money, kind of, and invite 3 certain type of people at the end. So it sounds super boring in principle, but the strategy is really exciting. Going against another person. I don't know about single player, but for multiplayer, like, you can have a 40-minute game, and it's pretty riveting. Okay, so break check. We'll go here. So instead of current speed, we have to go combined speed. That's maybe the worst way to do that possible, but well, not the worst way, but not the best. Okay, now here. The mistake of going for a walk this morning and not having the heat on when I got back. My hands have taken quite a while to thaw. Okay, I think those 3 places should make it work. And test that quick. That'll be one more goal done. Oh, but let's maybe see about making it faster. We'll make it go faster first. Yep. Thank you, Antonio. I bet you Windows decreased it. So let's see. Yeah, it made it 52. There you go. Thank you for letting me know. No, thank you. Yeah, it's the typical Windows Windows auto adjustment. I should remember to do a quick test beforehand, but I had forgotten to plug in my mic today from after fixing in my standing desk. Sometimes I wonder how close people are to their microphone, because some of them you get really close for the best audio. I find that kind of annoying to be right in my face. Oh, hi, Sakina. How are you doing? Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. No, this room though, I do need to get kind of like not a sheet of plywood, but probably like corrugated plastic, and I'll probably put some sound panels on it because I'm not allowed to put holes in the wall. Nor did taping sound panels to my old place. That ripped off a lot of paint, so I don't I definitely don't want to do that here. Uh, yeah, work in progress. Yes, just recently in Carpoon, I made it so you can grapple around corners and go faster, and just making that a little bit quicker and making it work with the keyboard and mouse. Yeah, but no, I hope you're doing well over there. Yeah. What's funny here is that because of that, there's different things like racks that just press against the wall for a shelf. Um, so it's like, all right. Oh, oh, thank you, Antonio. Yeah, it's one thing. It's just a step to do a quick recording in OBS, but no, I went out and found news, so kind of a little bit busy putting together a thumbnail just before this. So this is the hilarious thing when it gets too long, just finding code. Um, oh yeah, I'm very tempted today too to add in the Smash Brothers clapping to the scoring summary, but that's not one of the goals. It's like scope creep, but I'll do it. Okay, I'm guessing it's in here. Nope. It's funny. It's like I just did this the other day. Oh, here it is. This is where we increase the speed. I want to put it in a quick notes. It's more obvious. So I don't know. It's three. I was thinking maybe 2.5, and that way it'll speed up a little bit quicker. I don't think many people want to do like multiple 360s. So we'll test that. It's kind of hard to believe right now that it's less than 1 month to the Switch 2 reveal. It's like one of those things where it's like I know we got the hardware reveal, but for the game reveal, it's one of those things where it's like, this will just, be off in the distance forever. Thinking back to like the Switch Pro rumors, I know it's one of those things. It's like so far off. It's like it's a white whale off in the distance. It'll never happen. I found out from one of my friends though, in America and stuff, the invitations like to go to the Switch 2 like preview events, they went out. It hasn't happened in Japan yet, so I still might possibly get to go to that one in Tokyo. It does happen later in April though, which would be after everyone tries it in the States. So I kind of get why people are just excited about any rumor possible, but sometimes it's like, well, it's nice not to know exactly and just get surprised and not have much of a wait. Okay, I'll go to Bulk Carnage and test it out. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to buying one. To tell you the truth, because what? Like, if it was 400 US, that could be like $600 Canadian, plus a game, plus a controller if it doesn't have controller support. It all adds up. I have to buy the light and maybe a green screen that Hayden recommended still. That's already... I think that would be less than Switch 2, but still, an expense. Well, I think they're not excited to spend money, but they're excited to have a Switch 2. It probably helps having... If you're in the age where you just like finish university and have a job, and then have infinite money nearly, that is the age to be excited to spend money. I know I spent lots of money on frivolous things in that age. Having moving recently, it's like, wow, I had too much stuff and I should have been clearing out stuff. Now it's like I can live with a bit less stuff, honestly. Okay, so I think first of all, it's like I have two cars there, so it's overwriting the text because the text is going to the same place. Oh, there's that. That's nice. I find something funny moving down to is the drift. Like, I have something to prevent it so you can't be holding down and moving up, but it sometimes gets a bit of a weird wiggle in place. I might have to remove it in the end if it annoys me. Okay, we want to see if the speed goes above 9. Let me change the color too. Well, the tire tracks weren't showing. If the speed stays above 9 here, nope, it went back immediately. So something's happening here where the momentum's not holding up on with the keyboard and mouse controls. I'll show it quick with the controller. The cars will never not be cute. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I had a request for more cars the other day when I brought it to an event. So you see that speed's holding up, but they take a while. Like I do have the monster truck art done. I could add the monster truck in, which is still kind of cute. Um, no, but it's fun. People. So something I thought of too. People think of it as like micro machines or like kind of a top-down toy. If I wanted a 3D game and it was like third person behind the back, I think it wouldn't be quite the same. If it was 3D, it might still have to be top-down. Antonio asks, is it popular in Japan to buy things in installments? I don't know that exactly, although I did see, I think on Amazon, uh, they did have like an installment thing. So it's probably around as an option, but Amazon, is an American company. They could have just been trying that over here. Usually, like things that happen in America, like even in Canada, like within 5 to 10 years they'll come there. So probably if installments aren't popular now, they will be not too long of the future. Okay, so maybe in here something's happening for the speed not adding. Yeah, probably this is a mistake because this I think is if you don't have it. So maybe this is what's causing it. I'll say that so far I have not managed to take the wrong train. Thanks to Google Maps essentially, but I've been close. I've been close to taking the wrong one. I was demoing Carpoon the other day, and I told them that it was the googly eyes were somewhat inspired by Stunt Race FX, and they did not believe me. I guess it's partially from Banjo Kazooie too, but well, it's funny though, that person works for someone who worked on Stunt Race FX, so that's probably why they're like, no, that game's not popular. Yeah, the googly eyes and being scared. So yeah, that was the last thing. So drifting is technically done now. That goal's done. There's two goals that are done that I'm happy with. Now I'll hide that text so it's not in our face. We need more googly eyed characters. Yeah, you probably Probably a high chance that any game I make will have googly-eyed characters, unless I start changing my art style. Although, yeah, we'll see about drawing later in the week. Yeah, we need more silly games. So that was like that Nasal Nomad Sniffer's Delight. That was super silly that I saw. Building relationships a little bit to where the house rolling game and you're dating other houses. That was maybe a little not suitable for work, but a little bit too much innuendo in that one. But last year there was the Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. That one was pretty silly, but in execution wasn't quite there, but it's super bouncy and happy. When I was playing the Next Fest demos, Is This Seat Taken? It was a funny puzzle game that was super cute and charming. Games like Sniffer Clips in the past, I love that. You know, always on the eye out for something new and cute and happy. That's the thing. So many games you need to play, right? But there's just so many. I kind of don't think of a backlog anymore. I just may try to pick 3 that I'm interested in and want to play. Or I know I can be satisfied if I just check out one for a little bit, and I can be happy with that. And then I can also play UFO 50 forever. So I think the claw goal is probably to add a start base here and maybe have a light. Like I can put a light on the post to say like green or red, like if it's armed or not. Wow, this level is not running quick while streaming. Yeah, you do the same too. Heck yeah. So that's one thing I want to work on next. I think I might have had one other goal, but we can also see about the clapping real quick to add some of that in. So I hope that start thing makes it easier. It's funny, I was at an event and it's like, oh, people are getting the start lever, like they're understanding it. But then one guy reminded me a video of Carpoon was playing in the other room. So everyone was seeing that and getting an idea of how to play the game. So it's like, oh, I can't use this feedback. That harpoon, even though it's kind of actual size, it might be better if it was even, it's like it's a little bit bigger, but if it was even larger, just to drive the point home. Or flipped. Okay, but let's go to these goals as, yeah, we did all that. So this is done. I can tell you this, shorten the height of Autoworks. It seems like a small goal, but that's actually like the biggest one. These two here, and have cars drive off. But yeah, nice to just have something, have something done. Yeah, because I finished Steam Deck support recently. Kind of thanks to Antonio getting achievements back in. It went from there. And new trailer, that's pretty big. New trailer will take time. Yeah, it's what was happening with Steam Deck when it was docked to a TV is it was like way too zoomed out. So I know like not a lot of people might have Steam Deck, but it's the way I like to show Carpoon and like playing at a friend's house. So, and the funny thing is, GameMaker and like Steam Deck won't say if it's docked or not. It'll just say like, oh, I can check if it is running on Steam Deck. So I kind of do a workaround to get that. Yeah, so that's that. But let's take a quick look. Let's take a quick look at oh man, it's gonna open Photoshop and see if I can find the files for the cars clapping. I'll put that in. That's kind of like the monster truck where it's essentially almost done, although I do have to draw like one happy car, but the other ones can clap. I can tell you, as normal, the hardest thing is actually finding the file. Pretty sure I downloaded it. I'll just hop into my downloads folder. Somewhere around. Here it is. Find the hot dog in the haystack. Yeah, basically. Now you have to ask yourself 5-second rule on that one. Uh, okay, so here it is, and I think I wanted to do some extra shading for it, but we can put it in and just try it. I think drawing right now, like you get a thing when you're drawing a computer, you kind of can't have a computer bogged down in doing it. So I'll wait to like, no, actually it's pretty good. We'll just see what it's like, because it's going to be only like this big. I think that should be fine. Now for Carpoon to color it, I didn't have any cool palette shader stuff, so we'll make the truck color white, and then I can change the color in GameMaker. Yeah, thank you, Antonio. Yeah, so all I have to do is draw one happy car after. But we'll get this one in. Let's try it out. Oh, drawing them. So drawing this motion, I basically looked at Smash Brothers for inspiration, because there's so many different fighters of different shapes. Like I think I looked at how Kirby claps, but that's just like above his head, and just seeing a whole bunch of them, it really helped to kind of guess what I could do. But then I didn't bother drawing the axle at the time. I just drew the tire motion as hands, and I filled in the axle after. That's how I went about it. One of my friends thought I was joking when I mentioned it. Little did he know, I was not joking at all. Something in Photoshop here, you always have to start at the first frame. if you do it in a frame later, it won't go through all the other ones, but now in the first one it does. And we'll just, right now this is huge. Let's see how big this is. Yeah, that's, that is the size of it. Let me, so I'll just go create a new 1920 by 1080. And copy this. So this is how big it would be right now. I'm guessing 20% will look good. I'll probably also, so the thing is, like, we have to have room for 4 of them across the screen. When I start, I'll have to stagger the motion. I could like flip a random one. Maybe they all should be flipped. So if this was like punch out in between rounds, they could be more beaten up depending on your score, but that's getting a little crazy. So maybe like in game, some of them could be kind of staggered. Now I'm gonna just take a quick screenshot from, I wonder if I can even do that. I'm trying to, I'll take a quick screenshot and see how it looks before I put it in. And let's see the size of these right now. So right now this is 15, probably, yeah, 15% for all of them. One thing that always bugs me, when you draw with the brush tool and not the pencil tool, you get weird gaps. So I remember one channel, they just draw with the pencil tool only because you can't notice really when you shrink it down. But I was using brush tool there. So we'll get to the scoring summary as quick as possible here. I'll get 2 cars and just end the time with my hotkeys. I was finding one the other day. I put F to see the frame rate. That's a little close to WASD. So I should probably make it so you have to hold multiple keys to get frame rate. Okay, so you see those, there's those 2 trucks on the bottom, I'll replace them, but seriously, I don't think I can print screen right now. I do have a screenshot tool in Carpoon, which I forget. I'm gonna just check. Or I can cheat and just copy myself in OBS, maybe. Nope, I can't because it'll go off game. I've tried. I'm curious now. What was my screenshot button? Let's It's in O menu or O game. You can see all the secret keys in Carpoon. Oh well. It is somewhere else. Well, I have cheat codes in Carpoon. You know, I didn't think of that yet because you'd have to think about how do you input them. Like I kind of thought of having modifiers. Like you think about Unreal Tournament modifiers by maybe harpooning different things in the junkyard player select. Like how my friend wants it, so you harpoon the UFO with a hand that comes out and waves at you like an alien hand. UFO 50, for instance, has different cheat codes that are like Game Genie codes that will modify how the game is played. So maybe something like that. I could do it so you just enter a pattern in. Like a Konami key code is just, you know, different directions and buttons at the same time. So something like that wouldn't be too hard to do for effort. But I have to think about what would the cheat code do. So big googly eyes cheat codes. Eyebrows cheat code. Yeah, instead of big head mode, big. I'd probably have to do the googly eyes over again because they're connected. If they were single googly eyes, it'd be easy to scale them. But they're connected on the same graphic, so they would just be like what happens to the little cars, and they would just be further out. Okay. I do not want to do the math on this, so I'm just going to use the calculator to find 15%. Times 0.15. Okay, we want it about that big, but we can't do pixels, so and is the smoke effect generated by an image? No. Do you mean like exhaust? Because exhaust is kind of created by a single image, but then it's each one has a different like random rotation and stuff when it goes. Most particles now I do have in a particle system. I think one of my friends suggested secondary motion for the harpoon swaying, but I'll see about that later. Oh, a cheat code to replace a single image with a hot dog? Maybe. Okay, now I'm gonna have to turn off who let the dog out achievement unlocked. Yeah, we just added a hot dog cart one. We're gonna have to think of something new, but I want to fill in some of the gaps here. Oh yeah, I can't do that because it the layer moves, unfortunately. Now I want to make sure if I crop this, like you can show all the different layers at once, but I'll do this just to have a bit smaller image. Yeah, that should be fine. So a quick way to do this, make it all 1 second, and then I'll export it as a PNG sequence through video. Still has the cheese hat as the last one. See, there's still hats. It could be the cheat code just to wear hats, I suppose. Okay, so basically here, if we have it at 1 frame per second and the frames are 1 second, it's an easy way to render the right amount of frames. Truck clapping, we'll go top. And after that, that should be all of it. Let's see if that worked before I do the bottom ones. Yep, it worked. It's one very sad clapping truck. And we'll go on to, now I have to hide everything. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to have to hide all the top detail. So I'll call it the bottom. This is trickier to match. Like, I know it doesn't move, technically. Like, it would have been easier just to have one single layer. Okay, at least I think fortunately, yeah, its tires are gone. Fortunately, I only move this up and down from the same object. So I can just hide this stuff above it. There we go. Might be hard to see, so that's all we're gonna render. I can fill in the gaps in a few places. Two-tiered, yeah, it's too tired, but two-tiered. Basically, yeah, that's my easy solution, in quotes, for graphics. I think doing a palette swap would be much easier. But yeah, that's just what I do for Carpoon. So, yeah, this is just little hints along the way. Sometimes I think of ways this could be entertaining, but sometimes it's like, well, I'd like to get this done and then like move on for another one. That's why I do the fun streams too, sometimes just playing games. I still have to do the Mario 3 stream, but hopefully later this month. Oh, thank you. Both were great. Appreciate it. I'm going to save and see if I flatten this layer, if it doesn't ruin the movement. So right now it's going up. Okay, it still goes up. So that way, that new fill we added, I don't have to worry about like moving it up as well. It's just attached to that previous image now, or combined with it. Okay, well, here we go. And we'll see if we can get it in the game today. You went to a comedy show earlier, Antonio. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever been to like stand-up comedy live. I remember one of my friends tried it one time, but he was actually doing comedy on stage, but it was pretty late, and downtown, so I didn't go. Probably should have gone though. Right now for okay, you got into it during the pandemic when a lot of comedians started podcasts. Yeah, I find a few of them, like Bill Burr, particularly hilarious. Norm Macdonald's passed away now, but I love his comedy can be really funny. It's just maybe so dry at times, but then at other points it takes such unexpected turns. Uh, those two are ones I find the funniest. I guess Norm Macdonald I got into because of how he would be on Conan and just Conan O'Brien and just like he'd be one of the few guests that actually keeps saying things when their segment was done, like sitting on the couch beside them. Hayden's a big Norm fan, so the funny joke is that on Game Explain for a while, whenever I do an article, because of my Canadian accent or a video, that people would say thanks Norm or hey it's Norm Macdonald because of his Canadian accent. It's like, yeah, I guess I'll take that. That's like a positive enough joke comment that I'll take it. Like I don't mind that comparison. Okay, we'll create a 2025 group for sprites and we'll add in those new images. Truck. I think there's got to be a better way to do this to import a sequence, but this works. So I drag in one frame and then I'll just put in all the other ones below it. And I might be able to rely on this instead of updating it manually. Let's see. That's a little, he needs a little bit more pep than 5 frames a second. Now, sometimes they're quick and smash. It's like a little bit more enthusiastic. That might be too fast. But slapping that rubber, yeah. And Antonio, you saw a New York comic called Sam Morrill. I haven't heard of him, but yeah. Let's keep it at 20 frames a second. It'll be a bit more positive. Now, so we have that, and I'll just duplicate that for the bottom frames. That won't look as good when we've seen it here. Yeah, speed looks good. Okay, great. This, like, it's kind of scope creep, but considering I had done most of it, I think it's like a neat hook to show people to remember the game. Oh, and I only exported 1 frame so far, so I didn't do export video. I think I just saved for web by accident. That's my habit. Yeah, so I think like when people play a match, I'll just make one more things for the game to be more memorable and a little bit more extra art. I think that's one thing with Carpoon I regret. Oh, as a gift for people in Discord. Yeah, I can't copy that, but we'll have to see how it looks at a small size. But yeah, I can definitely do that later. I'll write a note. What? What is this? I'm baffled at why it's not exporting the sequence. Oh, yeah, putting it in the completely wrong folder might do it. I'm gonna delete the files from here. Just won't get extra frame added by mistake. There we go, finally. And as I did before, right now the sort of the point where it rotate or be placed in the world is top left. Just keep it middle center. Like I think that part could be the bottom of the screen. Maybe I'll like move it down 100 pixels like that. Yeah, this is how I look behind it. So now I have to dive in and have to do it for every player but the winner. I'll probably just put it in for every player at first. And we'll see how it goes. Now, I do not like diving into the code for the scoring summary. Like at one point I had tilted my monitor vertically and adjusted the screen to like read the code easier. It's something I should have broken into like little tiny functions instead of one very long chunk of code. And there's like different ones for each mode. I don't have to update it here. Like sometimes I make a backup. If I do have to get a backup, I'll just dive into an old version of Carpoon. So, for the truckling mode, I could draw clapping trucklings. One thing I think I have in my notes is that if you crush a player in co-op, you would have like a ghost or like a sad or angry ghost come at the other player. Like, I don't know, a car with its arms crossed. Now, co-op mode, well, it is against each other. I don't know if I want to make, like it's teamwork. I don't know if I want to have the cars clapping and that being sad. So I'll try versus mode first. That's the whole thing about co-op. It's like against each other, but I do want to have it so you can feel like you're on a team. Like they could be high-fiving each other. No, but I do need more general Carpoon graphics. Oh, hello, Oscar. Happy Mario Day. Oh, I didn't know there was a special Time magazine for the anniversary of it. That's pretty neat. The all-star video game changer. Yeah, Mario certainly has changed the video game landscape a few times. Are there any interviews in that magazine? Like, did they talk to Shigeru Miyamoto or anyone about it? But yeah, as we were discussing earlier, though, maybe they're holding some 40th anniversary celebration for Switch 2 or mention of it. That's what we're thinking at this point. Now, to put in these clapping trucks, I do draw them at one point, so I'll just find where that is and swap it with this sprite. Yeah. I think the thing with Nintendo that's hard for anniversaries is that there's so many anniversaries, and sometimes like time in game development is not easy. Like you have to really plan in advance. But with Switch 2, like they could just mention it and say it's the 40th anniversary and here's your new Mario game. Like they're obviously working on a new Mario platformer for it. Have had lots of time, but it doesn't have to be a tie-in. Like it's a nice nod, but I don't know if Nintendo actually cares about anniversaries that much. And like 25 years, that makes sense. 40 years is a big one, but it's I guess like Mario being their flagship franchise is neat, but like they had 35, you know, it gets like if you're doing it every 5 years, that's almost too much, I would say. Okay, here's where I draw the sprite. I'll just comment it out and I'll put in the new one. Yeah, it's just with video games taking so long these days. It's hard to do something all the time, and so many franchises at Nintendo. Like Nintendo's a big company and they work with other companies, but I get the feeling there's only so much they can do. With Switch, it was a lot better though, having one system instead of having to deal with a handheld and a console. I felt like Nintendo could only ever really focus on one at a time. Okay, and we have no shading in this one. Like in the past, I kind of drew a layer with shading above the color. That really made it tricky, and like any change, like having 3 different sprites exported for one character and then like times that by 10 frames made it tricky. So I try to bake in any shading now. Unfortunately, doing it this way, I will have to set the time, or I'll have to like increment the sprite over time and see how it works. Like where I was setting that speed earlier, that made it work for if it was attached to its own object, but this is kind of just drawing it separately, so I'll have to set it. And Oscar, you say next year is the 40th anniversary of Zelda. Metroid Kid Icarus, Mysterious Musarame Castle. Yeah, I've heard about that one a little bit. Dragon Quest and So N64, that won't be 40th, but it'd be a different, that's like 30th, I believe. Yeah, 30th anniversary. So yeah, tons of anniversaries, and a lot of them are around Black Friday in November. So yeah, there's where you draw the line, right? Like, I would say Mario and Zelda for the 40th. You could do something nice for those. Kid Icarus, I mean, if they do a new remaster, I think that doesn't really need an anniversary. Dragon Quest is a different company. They could do that. 30th anniversary of Pokemon. That's surprising to think. Like, Pokemon came at the very end of the Game Boy lifespan and extended it. But it still is like the newer game of all the franchises, yet it's 30 years old. That's funny. Like, despite being so old, in my mind, it's like newer. I'll add in code at the top of this so I can make adjustments. This is where it's like, oh, it's so long, where to go? That scale might be off, we'll see. Now, technically, you should modify it by time. I'm going to go... Okay, so Antonio, you say Pokemon Yellow was the first video game you owned, so it's a very special place for you. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I had Pokemon Blue, and I like that Pokemon a lot. Like, I played through it. Unfortunately, didn't have friends that had it to do trading and stuff. But for me, Mario 3 was the game I got with NES. Me and my brother got that, and Mario 1 and Duck Hunt. So Mario 3, that I guess is a super special one for me. But I did have ColecoVision earlier, playing my dad's games, but I don't know, Mario 3 is the first Nintendo game. I guess I was pretty lucky. So I'm just going to add this variable back in the menu somewhere. I'll see if it works, and then I'll try changing it by time. Oh no, I pressed the key. I hope I didn't just add in a random letter somewhere. Oh, this is version 9LD. I'm getting close to version 1. Here we go. I already had a scoring summary section. This should be sprite index, not just sprite. I would come to that later and say, why? What's this for? And then I break it. You know, I was saying with Pokemon that Beastie Ball being very much like Pokemon but with volleyball and like sort of a tactic sports game would be one I'd be hooked into. But just with other goals, I played it for about 4 hours and still have to go back into it. Oh, okay, so Antonio, you were playing Mario Brothers and Mario 3 at a friend's place, so that's another special memory. Yeah, part of the reason why I got Nintendo and Brothers because I think I was playing Nintendo too much at my friends' houses. So my parents didn't want me just doing that all the time. But it was fun back then. Like not everyone has a game console. It's even still like I don't have PlayStation 5, so it's neat to play at one at a friend's house. Oh, good morning, Kelvin. The crusty crew. Seeing if I get this clapping working in the game. You lurking. Well, thank you for dropping by. I hope you're doing well over there, Kelvin. I'm worried that I tried playing Madhouse over remote play, and it was pretty slow for me. So I don't know if that's just the internet connection with other people or the difference in distance. So yeah, well, I do hope to have like another Carpoon test session again soon, or for other games like yours. Your game would be fine, especially with network code. But maybe I would have to have someone host it in North America, and I would just watch. I would be lurking to see how everyone's playing it. But Calvin, I was mentioning I tried the building relationships game. It's pretty hilarious. The house rolling one. Yeah, it's not too much of a problem turn-based strategy at all. Yeah, the one, it's called Building Relationships. You're a house that, it's kind of like, almost like Katamari-like, rolling around, although you're not connecting to things. And so you're just, it was at Tokyo Indie Game Expo last weekend. I think there's been a demo before. There might be a demo right now on Steam. And yeah, so like a house platformer slash dating game. So I'll have to remember I only did in versus mode, the clapping. We'll get a couple points and see if they both clap. Yeah, there's a crown too. I'll have to draw a crown on the winner when I get to that. Something I noticed too, like demoing Carpoon on my laptop, those keys for lives are a bit small. People see them, but I think it could be more obvious. Like the points above a truck, I doubled those in size. Anyway, let's see if they show up at all. So that's a little quick. I definitely could slow that down. I don't know if I can draw it above. Oh, and you can see the eyes. Yeah, it's too fast. You can see the eyes are separate from the winner and loser. Like the eyes for one of them are bugging out. The other ones are like the happy bender eyes. Let's see if I can slow this down without without having to recompile. And then the eyes are drawn after it, so I can draw them. Okay, I think probably 0.2 is what we wanted. And then after that, I have to have it above the P1 and but no, above these cars, which you can see my cursor fortunately, or like just lower. Just lower would be the easier option. And I'll change it to time-based. Calvin, do you know how to make something, a frame update by time off the top of your head? I know I've done it in Carpoon somewhere, but I can never remember. I'll just do a quick. Yeah, alarms are the easy way to do it. There's also a way just to do it by code and reading the time. I remember I had it one way, but it is now, or very soon to be, not in GameMaker anymore, like deprecated. Oh, this 100, I should also change. I think there's a ratio to change it with. Basically, I multiply something by screen ratio, yeah, in case the resolution changes later. I feel GameMaker very soon will start saying, oh, I need to reload things. That's pretty good. I can move up the car piles. Yeah, that's nice. That was maybe easier than I thought. So I have to think if I wanted that in on co-op mode too. The addition of the little white lines for a couple of frames, I think, really helped. And yeah, the harpoon could have dangled a bit if I'm looking over my laptop screen, but it's not totally necessary. Okay, let's just move the car pile up, so I don't have to worry about that as much. We'll see then if the car pile up doesn't work, I'll put it above it. Now, and for alarms, let me even see if I have room for an alarm in the menu. I've kind of used them all already. That's where my problem gets to. I use them all up. You can only have 11, unless GameMaker updated. Nope. But yeah, that's always a handy way to do it. So now I have to find where the car pile is drawn. The easy way is probably just search for all of these. Okay, Y position per score. Okay, I was wondering why as a player sprite, it was if I am drawing a player that was crushed. So this, we'll duplicate this, because this was the old way. The Y position, of course, starts at 0 at the top of the screen and kind of increases as it's going down. So we'll just pull it up 50 pixels. Yeah, that doesn't overlap. That works. And if I had way more cars, it would go up higher. Oh, that's great. I feel P1 and P2 could be bigger. Like they give you the size of the score. I don't know. And one thing my friend was suggesting that holding L and A might not be so obvious for everyone. I could just have it a single button that you hold and go on. But that is, that's something I'll keep an eye out on if more people have that problem. No, but that's great. Truck clapping is in. This trophy I can almost draw bigger. It's now we tested that. Let's see what it's like if I get 4 cars in. I have a new value 8-bit dough. It's the one without rumble in it, so it feels super cheap compared to other ones. Can you make the text box bigger? Yeah, I can make that button bigger. Let me get to that menu again and then I'll adjust it. Let's see. Trying to see if I can get, if I have enough controllers set up right now. Oh, I took the batteries out. I think 3 will be fine. And some things too, like when you're on a big TV, it's super readable. This 24-inch monitor, readable. Little tiny laptop screen, maybe not. Okay, let's see how it looks with 3 players. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think the colors make it different enough I don't even have to stagger the heights. Like I could flip one if I wanted, but I think it's okay. Okay, let's go to that button. Press. Let's see if I can find press space. That might be back here. Thank you, Antonio. Yeah, I'll need to add the one for the one winner car, and I'll put it into co-op mode. And I'll probably update the thumbnail after. Oh. So the button, I'm afraid to update the button right now because I use a lot of other menu code, and all that is if I change that, the buttons and the menus won't be set. So I'll consider it later. It's like a lot of work. I'd have to like duplicate the button script or have an override. Let's just see alternating the truck clap. Probably should have that back earlier, but let's see. I think those are kind of staggered now. And so we'll say the player position mod 2 is 0. That's basically like if you were to divide by 2 and whatever's left over, if it's still 0, well, let's say, I don't know, it's flipped. It'd have to be a... No, it doesn't have to be var. I don't know, let's say var flip clapping sprite. I'm just going to multiply the x scale times this. I think this might be not needed, but we'll see. No, only the first one. That's weird. What if this equals 1? Nope. Oh, probably, it's probably the X position on the screen. It's not like the other one. Oh, just an idea for a small Godot project. Maybe you can make a crane-based minigame on Carpoon assets. Would that work? Like you're trying to harpoon stuff to pick up? Like I definitely thought of a bird and bean, like that WarioWare game Bird and Bean, like with Carpoon assets, or one like Spy Hunter. This is all we need is the it's just the numbers going through in the loop. We'll see. Yeah, that seems okay. Okay, so just a crane game, you're trying to pick up cars. Oh, so you're the claw, and you're trying to pick up cars in it. Yeah, that might be a fun experiment, just with physics and stuff. Now watch this. We can increase the speed of one of them. We'll give it a little different personality. No, wait, I can't do that because this is one variable. Never mind. Never mind. And Antonio, you saying you're watching Sakurai's video on one-button games, and there's a Kirby Claw minigame. You thought they'd fit in for Carpoon too. What minigame was that game in again? I have an idea here too. I'll divide. No, I can't. Once again, I'd have to do other variables. Crane fever. Okay, let's take a quick look. That's not what I dragged, monitor. For some reason, it's Jeff Grubb. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're trying to grab the colored Kirby's and not the yellow stuff. That might be fun. It's also fun when there's games and you're trying to like hop out of the way of the crane to avoid it. Yeah, but now with that goal, I think let's I'll shut down Carpoon, and we do have that claw to work on, and we do have this thing where the camera tracker gets created when a car blows up. I should have left it on clapping. I should have taken a break while it's clapping, but one thing I'll ask while everyone's there, do you think the clapping should be in co-op? Do you think there should be like someone that kind of seems like a loser in co-op? I think we'll do that. I can add in the start light super quick to the claw and just prototype it and see if that works. And maybe I can draw the claw base. Like I'm probably should do that. And this camera tracker one. I'll be pretty happy if I get all that done today. The camera tracker is one of those things that annoys me, so. Okay, my question is, should in co-op mode, when it's kind of like a team-based mode, but also somewhat competitive, should there be clapping in that scoring summary? Which is the easiest thing for me to do, rather than add in different graphics. It's like a clapping indicating kind of a winner and loser in co-op. I believe Four Swords does have a very obvious winner and loser at the end of their matches. Now just grab some water. Okay, and I'm going to add in the part where there's a camera tracker when cars explode when they're trying to flee the level. And then go to the claw. So this is where they're actually toggled to run off. Where they explode is elsewhere. Can you group the cars based off the team they're on? Well, in co-op, on every level but Full Carnage, no, even in Full Carnage and co-op, you're on the same team, kind of. Like you're working together. You can't cut people's ropes. So, like I could group them together, but it's kind of, they're kind of separate. So that's the thing, like in co-op it's like, yeah, we're all working together, but I do kind of show individual score for each car. I don't know, it's probably going to be funny to put in clapping for everyone. This is gonna be a fun part now. Where did I shoehorn in the code for them to explode when they get to a certain point? I'm trying to think, did I make it? I'm gonna run it and check. I think if the cars get near the hot dog cart, they they explode in Park and Panic. I didn't add that as an event. It's not going to be there. Can I find it before it compiles? I don't think so. Might be this. So this mode right here is kind of, it does confuse people in demos because it's half cooked, it's not done yet, where the cars are just kind of like running off and exploding. I also hid the little timer that would, it would show basically like how much time is left on the wave till the cars escape. These bushes I'm so tempted to make it two different ones. Okay. It doesn't look like they're going to the hot dog cart. It kind of looks like they're trying to get to these crates. I want to see if I can make the keys bigger right now, before I forget. The keys for the number of stock you have. Why there's 3 stock in co-op mode, I don't know. It's kind of hard to actually kill yourself in this level. Okay, let's see if I draw the keys under the player score. Yep. Okay, what's key scale? Let's try, I don't know. Let's make sure it actually works. Make it double size. Oh, yeah, maybe. Let's see. No, didn't update. I think that is because, as I'm finding, this has to go within the function. Yeah, Tony, say, I guess it depends if you want to emphasize it's cooperative, if you want to leave it open to players to turn a co-op mode to a layer of competitiveness for bragging rights at the end. I kind of like bragging rights. I think a lot of people want to know bragging rights. Clapping should help. So thank you. That's a good way to put it. That's a perfect way to put it. Oh no, I didn't hit pause. Competitive people want to brag, yes. Okay, so back to finding where cars want to drive off to. I think this flee in waves will help. Just searching for this. Probably it's going to try to steer to a certain point and we'll find it. Oh no, is it only finding it in 2 places? No, here we go. Okay, so that, oh, what? I chose something called the target square. I don't remember making that at all. What does it look like something? Okay, I'll turn this off and we can kind of know where it's going. And I'll be back in just 1 minute and we'll figure this out. Okay, back. I actually created like a little BRB image. I used to have it, but I lost it. Well, let's just see about this camera tracking issue. And then probably, yeah, just prototyping the cloud after that. Okay, this is where it actually explodes if it reaches the target destination. Now this is just where we want to add a camera tracker. And basically the camera tracker will create one and it'll go back to the player, and that way we don't get that sudden camera change. Because it's kind of, it tracks, cameras tracks multiple points, and so if you delete one right away, it shifts quickly. There are ways to do that by kind of like multiplying and lerping, but I was having problems with the camera like smoothly tracking everything when doing that. So I create little points that move back to the player to keep it smooth. And let's see, why is that false? But oh, okay. Just for the type of explosion material, like not hot dogs. So I'm not seeing anything to create a camera tracker here. Like it's easy to remember this spot now. I'll just copy this and be easy to find it. Now down here, I think there's more things about actually creating a camera tracker. I'll copy that and put it over. Trying to think now, part of it too is sometimes I have I'll add a camera tracker if it's the very last one, if it's being deleted. Let me try that. Let me try that with just one car, and we'll see if we get the weird skip. Well, that's what I'll look for. I'll look for that next after searching for camera tracker stuff. So let's try this. So this is, If the number of cars is 1, it'll create it. Yeah, it's be easy enough to see. And maybe we'll get an idea of what's happening. Yeah, my theory is maybe when there's one car, it's being created quickly and just disappearing. So I had the goal recently to try to finish like one of those main Carpoon goals every week, but if I finish the claw one, they're basically all done except for this waves, trailer, and squishing down Autoworks. Like stuff like the monster truck, I always just wanted to add in after. Like it would be nice to show more content, but I can spend a lot of time on that. And I think it's important just to actually like release a product at some point. Okay, so pressing 222. That might be. It should be a little bit more readable in game, I hope. And Volcarnage Island has it worst. We'll see how it looks. So, oh, you see that? So you see that purple sparkles? That going to my harpoon point, that's a camera tracker. And that way, when you're dragging something, it stays on screen. So that same kind of thing, see those, they changed to blue. It's not the most readable on this, but the camera trackers went to these, and now it's gonna like slowly come back to me. And smooth it out. Yeah, it's just what I had to do to make the camera less jittery. I should change the waves timer so I know when they're actually moving. Or I should make that visible again. A bit more time. Text, I think, is harder to draw in GameMaker. Drawing all this text probably does make it a bit slower. Okay, when's this car gonna move? Or is it? Oh, it got crushed. No, no. I'll have no idea when the other one's going now. Oh no. Oh no. Let's go to parking pack. Yeah, I can get rid of some of that extra code in the cars. The keys, I think, are bigger now. I think the key update happened. I kind of rather have the score bigger, but. Oh, yeah, they're going. They're going. Did not see. I have to quickly kill these, or crush these 3 cars and make sure there's only 1 camera tracker out. Okay, you get a camera tracker, and now let's see what happens to it when you move to the endpoint. So the ring isn't drawing. I thought it's there, but maybe, yeah. So its camera tracker just kind of exploded. So there's something in the code where the camera tracker for the last car isn't being sent to the player. So at least we kind of narrowed down the problem. So yeah, camera. So it's exploding immediately. So here's probably what's happening. If it's going, I don't have a follow object, just blow up. Now there's something that happens. Basically, I think if they send it back to the player, it'll delete itself after. I had code for that somewhere. Oh, here we go. So I can do that. I think that'll be the easy way to fix this. Hopefully it doesn't break something else though. Okay. So we'll make it delete at destination's true. Follow object equals, I don't know, temp player. Now temp player doesn't exist yet. I'm sure I have that as a target point. Bar if there technically should always be a player data somewhere. Okay, doing that, I think should make it work. I have to see if I had to set alarm 1 to anything. Okay, alarm 1's already taken care of. Let's take a look, and then after that, well, just a quick prototype of the claw base. I guess you can see though where things kind of add up. Like for the clapping, I do have to draw the winner clapping. I have to put it in the other modes. I won't think about the possibility of the baby trucks clapping or crying. Because definitely spending more time on art for possible more enemies might be more valuable, or just, I guess the baby trucks clapping would be a fun GIF, but to try to stay focused, it easily spirals out of control. Like you have to like wear a producer hat, which is something something I've learned. Okay. Oh, bad. I should I should have a smaller font for that. Okay, I'll crush the bottom car. That crusher should crush the car. I forget why it doesn't work. Like it's supposed to set an example for the player. Okay, he's got a camera tracker. Let's see if he drives down to the bottom when the time runs out. Weird how he's going up there. Nope, changed. Didn't send back. That's too bad. What is this? I should get rid of this. This is making it harder to find. Because then I could have seen if it went to the right area or not. Yeah, well, I had a sad emoji for camera tracker. Did not find a player data to go to. It's possible it's deleting itself earlier too. So weird with all these different rooms from the Steam overlay. Could make it. I don't see any for a. Oh, I guess they do have a social leaderboard. Let me just open that. I guess I could have a leaderboard and it just uses this over it. That's nice. Could be a nice free bonus to do later from the Steam SDK. Okay, let's see this stoplight. I'll probably only have to use the sprite and not to redo all the other code. I'll have to make it a claw light. Let's use a parent, no parent object even. And the volcano, oh, it's weird I have a duplicate level there. It's probably a backup I made at some point and forgot about. I think I wanted to nudge. I wanted to nudge this one pixel to the side. Those clouds up there, I was thinking of maybe using a shader at some point, just make it a bit more vibrant, have them moving around. Okay, this crusher light is weird. It should have a step event. I must have missed it. Like it could be up top here, but I don't think people would notice that. Like it has to be really small. I could just delete some of the stuff and just have the two lights on one of these orange pieces. I guess I could make it smaller. .6, sure. That's probably too small, but yeah, there we go. It's gonna be funny up top, but it could be. I think people would notice it more there. And then I want to draw like a plate down in that area, but it's got to detect this claw. Like what kind of state it's in. And and change color. I could have it so you harpoon the light and send off the claw before somebody like manages to bring their car there. But that might be a bit much. And this is the claw in the Autoworks. I'll have to do it again for the volcano one. I'm working on this level first because I think this is a level where most people didn't recognize it as much. It's more apparent in the Volcarnage Island. I could do this in the create event, but then if it's created in a level before the claw, I won't notice it. I'll just say, if it doesn't have one yet, try to find it, which is too bad in the Park and Panic level. Try not to have two objects for this. Probably a mistake, but. Basically, I want to do something like that for changing the image index from the red light to the green light. So I'll see the easiest way for, probably the claw frame of animation. That might be the easiest way. Or its state. Let's see the state. So if its state is this, the light can be green. The hard part will be just detecting like how to say its state's waiting, because that, I guess maybe I could do that. I have a feeling it's going to crash. It's never something I've really. I think states are put across the whole game. So I'm going to try that. But I'll add in the GameMaker Live code in case that helps if it doesn't compile right. Oh, yeah, it needs, it shouldn't need the location. Just be like, yeah, whatever is closest to you. Then you should be able to override it for instance nearest. Now what color is the light normally? I don't know why, okay, I was trying it with or without the base. So red and green. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's green if it's waiting, red if it's out there. I almost think it could be the opposite, but I think green, you know, meaning go, it's okay. Like red is bad. You do want to drag it there for that. I don't know. It should be just having the neat toggle might help. And I can do the same thing on the base later. Like let's think of a green circle or a red X on the base plate. And I found out from having a start plate that's kind of like, looks like it's bumped above the ground. People do like dragging stuff to it, which is why I got rid of it. So I didn't make people think they had to drag signs to start the game. But I can use the lesson from that for a start plate for these claws. On one level, for some reason, the new beefy claw doesn't show up. It's still the thin claw. I can fix that later. Oh, it went behind it. That's too bad. Let's see if it changes though. Yeah, it went red. The shadow is something I'll have to draw again as it goes. That's a polished thing that I should take care of pretty soon. Right now it just disappears. Okay, can I change the depth of the crusher light? Like there's no draw code, so I can't just fake where it is and add height to it. I could draw it from the post. That gets a bit complicated. It doesn't have a parent for depth, which makes me wonder, okay. I think it's clawable. uh, Let's just see if that moves it in front at all. Okay, it's in front. Now I have to make sure the player is not like going behind it. Yeah, it kind of is. But he's kind of also going behind that. Let's try 1,000. Kind of just want to find the sweet spot. Nope. 150. Yeah, that works. Oh, 150 it is. Great. It still, it doesn't need that kind of bounciness to it like the other ones. Oh, I'll have to copy it over. Yeah, but hopefully that light, I'll probably change the sprite I'll just remove some of the stuff and maybe make it have an orange backing so it looks like it belongs on it. I could even maybe draw it on the post and should make it more obvious. Oh, where'd your claw guy go? You didn't even have... He's like invisible, maybe because it was running slowly. Well, maybe to wrap things up here, I will try to just put a quick little plate under it, just for prototyping. And that'll be it for today. So then I can try to finish up during the week. So I'll head on to Photoshop, close these. Oh. Well, good night, Oscar. Thank you for staying so long, and good luck with your program tomorrow. I hope it goes well, and I hope you have a great night too, and a great day tomorrow. Be one day closer to Switch 2. Not that. We want the base plate. Good night, Calvin. Get a good night's sleep over there. Thank you for staying. Yeah, good night. Let me know if you ever have time to play a game or something. Oh, well, thank you, Antonio. It's the latest for you. I hope you get sleep later. Very lucky to have some good friends. So this plate, though, this is what we want to use. I can take a screenshot at least this time around of the level. I'll make a copy of this and put it on the other post. Let's get, you might find this later on. I do find it like easier waking up earlier to try to get stuff done. I used to be able to get stuff done later in the evening, but just sometime when there's not as many distractions. The advantage early in the morning is that less of those decisions in the day have worn you down. Kind of like why Steve Jobs only wore one type, he only had one outfit for clothes, so he had one less decision to make in the morning. I think Mark Zuckerberg did that too. That's one of the best times for learning and stuff, which I'm having trouble with right now to try to do first, but I find the afternoon is the worst time for me for anything. That's the other day, mid-afternoon, I think I lay down to have a quick nap, and I fell asleep probably within 2 minutes. This level, when I squish it down, I think it's going to be a little bit tricky. That part might not be bad. This I just delete. But I'll probably prototype it first and make sure it's the right size before doing the art, because I'd be doing the same mistake all over again. I think squishing it down isn't really a hard thing to do. It's just kind of grueling. And that's so the level has more of a rectangular shape. It should be better for the camera. Right now, I think the scale of the level is a bit larger than the other levels, so it's almost too big for the camera to go around. You can see the claw without googly eyes. The googly eyes are added later. Let's see if this even looks good. I'll probably want the plate under the claw to make it look connected. I'll have to remove some of the perspective. And those lines. Oh no, that's too much. Just these two lines. Yeah, phew, thank goodness. Yep, get rid of those. If you add a bit of feather to it, it kind of makes it blend. I think it has to be a little bit wider. Oh. Yeah, something like that. And then let's see if I can mock it up quickly, how it would look if I had a green circle, like, hey, yes, go by all means. And then a red X. Please let me change the color. Do run into a little bit of spacing issue by the post. I can also change the shadow color. This is going to be easy, so I just choose a font. Sans serif collection, sure, let's try it. Needs to be bold, that's not bold enough. Copy this outer glow so we get the same size, and we'll just make it red. And what you want to do then is convert it to a shape. We'll flatten it, and we'll add a tiny bit of perspective to it, not much. Ideally, these would fade in and out, so it's not immediate. I think that'll look a bit better. And yeah, that's basically what I want. Maybe less perspective on the plate. I'll remove those little orange bits. I'd remove them on the other one. Just be a good base to start with. You're wondering if the green is too close to the gray. Yeah, it was a bit subtle. Let's just make it a bit brighter. That might be too bright. It doesn't look quite flat enough. Yeah, black and white, let's try it. Okay, that was a brighter one. Yeah, and before it was super close, so you're right. Okay, but this is just for testing, so it doesn't have to be perfect. What I could do is I could do that, and then I could flatten it and then squish it, and then it looks like the top and bottom are a bit thinner here. Well, it's thicker on the edge. There we go. So this, and maybe get the shadow to appear, and then I can have lunch. Yay! Oh, thank you, Antonio. Yeah, I think the perspective, though, I'll probably get rid of a bit of that. Like, if I wanted to now, I could be like, there. So, a bit more in line with the graphics. Lunch achievement unlocked. That's if the trucks were to like eat something at the cafe. Just like sit at the cafe for 30 seconds. Lunch achievement. Now, is this big enough based off the screenshot? That is something I don't know. I guess I'll see bring it in. It's probably 300 pixels, probably big enough. I'll just leave it all baked together for now. I'll worry about fade out later. Now I'll copy this, the depth from these details, so it's always below everything. It's apparently an Autoworks corner. Probably this thing will work. Yeah, this is what I want. This just has a single depth for everything that I can copy. Now let's bring in that ground plate and make it an object and kind of do a similar thing that the light did. Probably the light can even, the light can probably operate it. Okay, here we go, and put it at the bottom, although it doesn't matter so much when it's going to be at the, like a flat object. It's not like one of the trucks that's kind of like a 2D Zelda-like object. And find a good place to put it in objects. Call it O claw plate. We'll give it that parent for its depth. That's good. We might not have to overwrite it. We'll give it the sprite. Make sure this does not animate, otherwise it's going to be flickering like crazy. Let's find a good layer to put this in. Probably, yeah, ground details is probably good. I do that? Oh, it's locked. Okay. Oh, grabbed the wrong thing. That's what. Maybe I shouldn't have added it there. Let me put it. Oh dear. That should be fine. I'll probably find this has to be bigger, but yeah, that one's a little small. Okay, eventually if you do hold shift, it stays the same. It's something like the back peg of the support stand's a little big. It juts out more than the others. Okay, now we'll just make sure it works here. Try to copy the same code that we just wrote and also make this change its image index. Later, I'll have it fade in and out. I'll find all three eventually. That way I know they're both there. I think I got the colors flipped. One's red and for the first frame, one's green for the first frame. Take a quick look, and I forgot to change the shadow. The shadow could be tough. Like, let's see about it's opening if I can get to it. I think I just said if it's the Autoworks, don't draw the shadow. Like I could draw it, put it back. Or do I create it? I might create a shadow. Like this is a separate object. Let's see. Oh, compile, great. Sometimes that those screens are going by super quick, which I find odd. Yeah, the shadow where it actually grabs it is below. So I can kind of tilt it downwards. Oh, and that one's getting covered by the conveyor belt. So that one I could kind of change the shape a little bit. And that's something I'm going to think about. Because where the shadow is where I want the ring. And this one, like it couldn't, conveyor belt can't go over it, so that's something I have to consider. The green ring makes it way more obvious though. I mean, even if I had to get rid of that little edge and just had the green ring alone, that might help. Oh, hello, Hayden. How's it going? Game is looking more and more polished. Well, thank you. Yeah, I just added in the truck clapping today. That's only in verses right now, but I'll show you. So it runs a bit slow on my laptop with OBS going, I'll admit. That's one thing I'm sad about. Because like to do screenshots for this stuff, I'll probably have to like run it on Steam Deck and use my Elgato. But yeah, what I tried recently is that start lever goes back into place to tell you a bit more. I got rid of the edge around this because people were thinking about dragging icons in to this area. They were like, oh, it's like what you would want it from Magnet. They're trying to drag this in. And yeah, there's only, I think this week I'll be able to finish like that claw post. And there's only 3 main goals left: to have the cars kind of be time-based each wave and escape, and then shrink down the height of the Autoworks and make a new trailer. New like monster truck and stuff can still wait for after launch. What was it? Oh yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you the a bit of momentum in this stage. That's what I wanted to do. No, but I was bringing it. Well, yeah, it's coming out soon. Like I got the Steam financial stuff finally figured out. So that was the one small thing. Like one of my friends was setting up his Steam page, York, and I helped him with it. And he gave me a hint about how to set it up correctly based off his YouTube experience. So that was neat. But yeah, so those tire tracks, now you get a bit of momentum after you're zooming around. So you can catch up to other people. Can I show the title screen after? Yeah, I can. Right after this, I'll go back in. So let's Let's see the clapping real quick. Again, then we'll go to title screen. Or sure, we'll see title screen right now. If you press tilde, this is the title screen. If I wanted to be really fancy, this could be all animated in pieces. But I don't feel like splitting all those layers. Like, you know those different title screens that come in one piece at a time? You could do that, but I think people only see this once. Yeah, and these are those buttons we're thinking of making bigger. Like if I made that button bigger at the end, it would make this bigger. No, but how you doing over there, Hayden? You doing all right? How soon is your Doki Doki Panic video, if you can estimate? Although I know there's no like huge rush on it. I'm not rushing you on it. I'll just look forward to when it's out. Yeah, Antonio, here's the title screen. And let's go dive into verses. And see the Smash truck clapping that I put in today. Yeah, it's weird. I put in this thing where you can't hold down and go up. But it does create a little bit of weirdness sometimes, the controls for me. Other people haven't noticed. But see there where I'm trying to go right and it's like, nope. And I wonder if that's just my laptop being slow right now. So that's what's supposed to happen. Before, if you did a perfect 180-degree turn, it actually wouldn't move you. Yeah, that start lever is complete. That was one of the goals. So I've been super busy, unfortunately. Doki still has a lot of work, but I have a lot of clips firmly in place. Been working from the back to the front this time. Well, that's like the way to do, that's like the Mario Brothers way to do it. Keep the first level for last, or keep the intro for last. So Japan right now, it's been nice. It's been getting a bit warmer, not too warm yet. And we got a kitchen cabinet on the way, so a little bit of furniture going still. It's getting close there. It was neat going to the Tokyo Indie Game Expo last weekend, although it's a much smaller event. And I think I still have to try speaking Japanese more to people. That's one thing I should work on more. Even though I'm like learning a bit every day, like I should be practicing more. Or have some phrases just ready to go and say to people. Other than I only know a little bit of Japanese. I can read more stuff, so that's nice. Yeah, but I have a couple less exciting goals to also finish up soon. But no, just chipping away and trying to make a bit of progress each week. Okay, let's see the clapping. And you'll have Super Nintendo World over there soon in your state. But yeah, there's the clapping. It should be a bit faster. So I'll need to draw one player as the winner. But it turned out well and it was easy to put in. I think normally I might spend a little bit more time polishing that art, but I'm happy with it. Yeah, that's true. It'd be impossible to visit for the first 6 months. So, yeah, I always wonder, like, something's opening, do you even want to visit right away? Like the Nintendo Museum, if I had a chance to go to it, it would have been super busy. Now it's less popular. Well, you would assume less popular. So sometimes the place and experience is ruined when it's new and super busy. Okay, let's go back to that title screen. I guess part of it, when you load the game, you get to see the art. I could I think I draw black over it. I could have the black fade in when it first launches. And then you can see the art more. I think a lot of people see this art and they see it in the loading screens. When the game reboots, they see it, depending on how fast your computer is. So Antonio, what are you thinking on this? And Hayden says, the Nintendo Museum so odd, feels like a big retro game store, but you can't buy anything. And they have the giant Wiimotes. They gotta sell those at one point, as soon as they can. Yeah, it was kind of not designed as something for the super hardcore fan, but just something for someone who was like a fan of Nintendo growing up to bring their kids and stuff. So I think they did have a couple retro sections behind, but it was I was disappointed on that. I'll still go to it at some point, but it's not like I'll go to Kyoto alone for it. It was neat the other day though at the expo that they had a couple old Vector consoles, and trying those and seeing how smooth the frame rate and stuff was in a Vector console. Like stuff like that is neat to see that you cannot easily see anymore. Like Asteroids, I did play that in the past and I had an idea, but seeing other ones, it's pretty impressive. So okay, Antonio, so you would suggest putting the controls in the settings. And I like that, but part of it is I guess from my experience in being a couch co-op game, that I want people to at least get a little idea how to play. Not everyone reads it though, only some do. So it's not like it would be a deal breaker. I just want it super easy right off the bat how to play it. I did have an idea that you could harpoon controls in the player select and get to it. Controls are in the pause menu if you do have to get to it. I guess I don't have controls here. I can make them a little bit more transparent for where it's black. So I'll think about that. I could also test it at an event. I could hide them and see how it goes. So, but some people, you get tentative, like, how do you play? Like, they don't want to touch a button before they know how to play. They don't want to just, like, experiment. So, it's, okay. Yeah, let's see if that'll update quickly. Let's quickly take a look, because I think that won't be too bad. And then maybe that'll be it for today. Mario Kart Deluxe. Yeah, with this little menu in the bottom left. This is funny. It's like, I don't know where I made the key art dark. But maybe here. This is first time through, okay. Yeah, this is where it's done. Okay, don't draw that box. And don't draw the controls. Oh, thank you. I'll take a look. I turned off Discord on my computer to have it run a little faster. I think it's slowly working its way here. Let's see about where I draw the controls. That would be over it. Okay, this is actually where I draw the box over it. That's the logo, we need that. And I don't think it's going to update until I recompile, but we'll see. Yeah, that has to go inside the function, as I found out recently. Okay, we'll stop and take a look. Oh no, I turned off internet on my phone, but now it's on. Okay, so logo, image, press button to start, subtitle and name. Let's take a look here. So they do get to see the art just beforehand, but here it is. It feels like it's still a bit dark. Why is that? Oh, I see. I'm only doing 0.5. It's like semi-transparent. Let's try 0.9. Whoa, I can't see anything. That's maybe too bright. Or the buttons, but I'd have to like put a box behind some things. That's closer. So yeah, that might, yeah, I'll leave the settings off for now. But until I change the buttons, I'll leave it as 0.5. Yeah, I'd have to add like text shadow on the. Well, I can do it. Let's do it right now. I'd probably have to do like an outer stroke version, but I think text shadow will help. If I can find it, geez. There we go. I kind of have to create a temporary Y position and then undo the height. Or no, I'll say I'll create a backup of it, and then I'll change it and make it go back. It's basically like this one Y position I have to increment with the different text, so this easily in place. But then it makes it tricky to do something like a drop shadow. Yeah. And I'll have to change the color somewhere. Yeah, here. Otherwise, we're just going to have white text below white text. Brad and Tom's Carpoon live stream after hours. I don't know what you're implying there, Brandon, but no. How are you doing? I guess you're busy as always, but doing any drawing or anything? I'm gonna probably wrap up soon so I can have lunch. So it's actually not that late for me. Doing good. Well, that's great. No, well, I moved recently, so kind of been busy with that. I'd say doing fine, and just working on different goals and stuff as usual. Just gotta keep at it. Yeah, over here. Hope to do some more drawing and stuff. That's about it. Okay, let's do this again. There, we got a drop shadow. I think that's maybe a little harsh, but it's fine. The way I am, Brandon, like, we might do another Gartic phone again soon, or the co-op drawing if you're interested. The way the outer stroke works on some things is that they just make a drop shadow and they do it like a million times around the text, which is kind of slow. But yeah, it's more visible now with that. I kind of want not as much of the focus on it, but it's okay. Like if I draw set alpha, I don't know, 0.7. I think that'll work. Yeah, it looks a bit less harsh. I'll see how many people ask how to play the game now. Yeah, so we got recently drifting faster in game. I see the tire tracks are going faster. We got the start menu. If I reset, it's gonna snap back into place. Antonio, you asked if I press pause, is it in the settings? Yes. There it is up top. So that's, I do have controls in the settings if people are confused. In game too, so not only here, but in game. Yeah. Yeah, well, and of course I'll just see what people's feedback are. Like, people are only on that title screen once. And a lot of times in a playtest, I don't even reboot to that screen. Yeah, see that cursor there? Some people maybe want like a little aiming reticule on other trucks, so I'll write a note for that later. Okay, well that's good to think about it that way. Probably like the dreaded million different controls on a modern controller. And now with some of them, like those bumpers, it's getting nuts. I never use the bumpers. These levels, how the bridges open up, I do want the sewer geysers to kind of happen gradually. That X, maybe I can think of a better design for it. Yeah, let's end on truck clapping. And also make sure this light doesn't crash the game. I think I put the right code in to avoid that. The lives didn't get bigger here like they did for a single person playing. So they must be drawn elsewhere. Oh, and the cone, eventually the cone should be able to kick away. I'll say stuff adds up in games like that waves text. It has no gap on a Steam Deck with a different resolution. I have to test a lot of different things for a PC game. Why did the cone cross the road? To signal the right of way, to get filled with ice cream. Okay, let's see the truck clapping. No, Antonio, why did the cone cross the road? What is your bad pun answer? And there you go, there's the truck clapping. Glad I took a few minutes to put that in today for something fun. Oh, thank you so much for dropping by, everyone. I think that was pretty good progress in today's stream. Hope you all have a great week. I'll try to finish these up, and then there'll be the waves timer and squishing Autoworks next. Well, thank you, Aiden. And good luck in your progress over there. I hope to have enough energy to play a game or two later today. I have not. Well, I guess I did go to an expo last weekend, but I'm falling behind. No, but see you, everybody. Good luck in your goals. Goodbye.